IDS 302. This is it, the last video of this class, and it's a bonus video, something that 301 didn't get. But next Sunday, I guess I'll be doing another one of these for my new 302. So let's get to it. Class ends, on Tuesday, March 2nd. Excuse me, Tuesday, March 2nd, and by 11:59. Everything shuts off after that. If you did make any arrangements with me for incomplete, remind me or something. But there really wasn't actually any of that, but I did touch on it with a couple people. So again, remember it's points. Look at your points. Understand it takes 700 to pass, 800 for a B, 900 for an A. On a lot of this, I wish I could give more in-depth feedback. I try, but if you do well, you do well, and if you don't, I tell you to, where you came up short. I made the mistake of it's totally against our better nature to go look at Rate My Professor, and it's quite the festival of hate. No, and of course, I expect people to go off on me about the formatting. Typically, it's the people who just won't do it, don't know how to do it, won't learn it, fail the class. They get angry, and then it's the people that do well that give me a good rating. But it's like anything else. You really don't. I mean, before Yelp came along, people wouldn't take the time to commend a business or an individual or service as much as they would take the opportunity to complain. Because if you're happy, you just go on about your life. The entity fulfilled its duties, and you go on. But when you feel like you've been shortchanged, you speak out. So I went and I looked at that, and some of it was that he didn't even give me any feedback. 3 words on my paper, or whatever. I don't know if that's hyperbole, but I get it. But that's the thing that you would say maybe after the first or second paper. Hey, can you give me a little more feedback? I'd really appreciate more feedback. Now you could say, well, I shouldn't have to tell you that, but in classes that are getting bigger and bigger because even state schools are, you know, budgets issues, money issues. I hate it. But you get into these things where, they give you a lot more than you would like. Okay. It's same in high school and grade school. So there's more students, more work, more stuff to look at. Uh, so quality control can be an issue. So I would just say that if you've done well on these things, I applaud you. You did great. I mean, I really appreciate it. This 302's got a lot of good grades going, a lot of them. Maybe I should look in the 302 grade book instead of the 301. But you guys are doing really well for the most part. I hope the surveys are coming along well. I hope you are understanding that you are not surveying ASU students, you're serving random adults. Okay, so let's go through. Let me see, what do I got to talk about here? All right, yeah. See, I know I do. I've been talking to like Dr. Presidio regularly. He and I go back and forth about formatting and what our expectations are. And he keeps reassuring me, as somebody that's been in academia all his life, that I'm not overdoing it. He said he knows darn well that he, as well as other professors in our department, uh, do similar things. We expect certain levels of competency when it comes to formatting. You know, I don't like, I may point out if a comma is missing just to let you know that you, especially I'll do that when like you got 5 in-text citations, none of them have a comma. Well, then I want to tell you, right? I don't want to dig you harshly on that. I don't want to tell you. So it's a slippery slope. You let that go, then let this go, then let this go. Then pretty soon it's a free for all. And one of the issues you might have seen me write, I don't know if it's this class or 301, but I said it. You don't take the reader into consideration when you're presenting your work. And it's important to do that. It's important in any career job you have. How you present your product, your work is really important. Okay. Let's go with Easter egg number 1 right away. Better consumer of knowledge. I know we use this one in the past, but I hope you feel like a better consumer of knowledge. I hope you do. You've explored your topic in areas that were peer reviewed, that had credibility and some weight to the, to to gravitas to the sources that you can trust. And to be a better consumer of knowledge means you know where you kind of got to look further into something. Okay, for buying it. So the final paper. Let me just go right to the module where you turn it in. And I have some notes there. So the cover page, you look at the sample, do a cover like that. No colors, no graphics. It's a simple cover. Okay, you'll see it. Table of contents starts top page. I'll give you a tip because you're watching this. You should be able to take the sample because it's in Word and copy and paste it into your table of contents and change it accordingly. The good news of that is the formatting should stick. Okay, it should be adaptable. That's my tip to you. Okay, today. So, because otherwise I get these things that the page side of it is like a serpentine. It should be even margins, both sides. Should have the dots between them. Okay, it see where you're going. Table of contents. Then you want to compile everything. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. You want to take all your works cited sources works cited lists, put them all together on one main one. Realphabetize it. Okay. Make sure it's in hanging paragraph. Last name first. Make sure that every source you use down there is cited up there, and every source you cited up there is featured in your works cited. So you'll have one longer works cited list. Then you'll have your table of content, your cover page, your table of contents, and your steps to start right at the top. Don't leave big gaps between the steps. You don't have to start them in new pages. Just leave a line or two and then get to the next step. A line or two, next step. A line or two, next step. It's one continuous paper. Okay. Um, then you want to check your subheadings and everything. I like the step headings to be center justified and any other subheadings to be left margin justified. That's how I like it. I'm just saying. Make sure you run it, select all the way through, and then click on black so that's all the same black. Make sure and then click on the whole thing and then click on the background highlighting as white because you want to make sure none of that gray stuff shows up. Do the whole thing, okay? That can be one of the last things you do, of course. Okay, so then let's see. I want to make sure I follow along a little bit here. Yeah, I'd said everything that I was going to say there. So use the sample, but don't go verbatim. Again, don't think of the sample as, oh God, this is what he wants. This is perfect. I got to be perfect. So I'm going to mimic this down to the bullet point. Don't do that, please. Look at how they formatted it. Look at paragraph indents, citations are there, sections are there, things are there. But then be yourself within that structure. Okay, wow me. Let me use your paper starting next week for the new 302. That's what you can do for me. So be yourself in that. Don't it's not perfect. Okay. Um, let's go with let's get Easter egg number 2 out of the way right away. Look beyond the claims. And that goes with your Easter egg number 1 in terms of what I'd like you to take with this course besides IDS equals integration and a way to apply and get a visual construct of I wasn't blessing you, a visual construct of the process. I want you to be able to think of yourself as a better consumer of knowledge who can look beyond the claim. Okay, so that when somebody says, "Hey, did you hear that 40% of people get the vaccine are like really in bad shape, or 10% or 5%?" It just takes a few minutes to look up good sources on that. No, I'm sorry, it's less than 0.1%. I don't know, but I think it is. Okay, I had my second shot, by the way. I told you that, but feeling invincible. Uh, so let me get down to terms of formatting again. the one works cited list, and then that's at the top of a blank page. The first blank page after your paper ends, go to the top of the next page, put your works cited. It'll probably run it to a second page at least. After that, go to the top of the next blank page and make an appendix. That goes after the works cited. The appendix, okay? You pull it out, give me an appendix. The appendix in this case can just be called appendix, and it's just going to have the questions for your survey and the potential answers. Nothing more. Just like it's like a duplicate of your survey, except it's done in Word. It's done without any fanfare flash. It's not, be careful. If you copy and paste your survey onto it, it's going to look like crap. Something you need to type in, most likely. Okay, it's worth it. Nobody's got that many questions they couldn't type it in and make it look good. Okay. And this way, as you go through your paper in step 5 and look at the analysis and the interpretation of your data, you can, as you're writing, refer to, the index, C index question 3 or something, right? That's where it's helpful for someone to see, for the reader to see that, okay? So let's get into step 5 then, right? I mean, this is where your data comes in. This is where it shines, You get your survey data, okay? And you look at it and you see how you can first imagine it. By imagine it, I mean put in imagery, pie charts, bar graphs. You can make those things. If not in Google Forms right away, then in Excel, and you can move them to there. It's fun. It's exciting. Colors. There's where you can use colors. That's where you can shine. Okay. You can interpret. You can show your data. You're not interpreting it. You're displaying it. Now, you'll notice in the sample what she had here, and this was important. She's got Tanner Step 5, creative framework and holistic understanding. Survey results. She's got about, 20 bullet points. I don't like that. I will say that right now. I don't like all her bullet points. Okay. I think a certain amount would be good maybe for general. All right. I don't even know what this is. This is a lot like, I mean, the answers are, there's data in here. I don't like it. If you want to go through the basics here and say, I'd like to know, first of all, how many people are in your survey? I have gone through papers sometimes, either they don't even put it in there or they make you dig for it by counting a chart with the results. I want to see how many people participate in your survey, number one. Okay. Then if you want to tell me, how many were male, female, other, what have you, that's fine. Then if you don't do age, but once you get past how many, then I know how many you have. You can get right into imagery. You can show me with a pie chart how many were male, female, other. You can show me with a pie chart, bar graph or any other kind of graph, what the ages are. All right. This is where you could group them. Okay. If you have most of yours are between 20 and 22, a number, then stick it in there. Okay. If I'm the only one over 60, then I'm 62. Hopefully, I think I wrote 63 in a couple. God, I'm so stupid. I'm only 62. So, but that's what you want to start with, like in the order of your survey. But you want to tell me how many took your survey, okay? Seeing all these bullet points just too much. Can't comprehend it. Can't see it. I like to take it easy a little bit. Now, here's your choice too. When you get to that, you get to those highlights or whatever, primary data analysis, okay? One thing I like about her graphs here, there's a couple things I like, a couple things I don't like. What I don't like is there's not enough of them. She only got like 3. Just so you know, I don't like that. I think it should be more. She had too many bullet points. But you can see how the font is very readable for these things. And she says 10 people answered. See, I didn't like, only 10 people did a survey. It was horrible. Don't, like I said, it's just an example because I think it had good representation of everything. Okay. But you guys could do better. I know I'm going to get some much better papers to use. So you want to show this with font that I can read. I'm not overly concerned about the color font here. Okay, just so you know, she's writing the question and showing the data. When you analyze it, then yes, and you can analyze it right here in each question. That's fine with me. Okay, you don't have to analyze male, female, other. You don't have to analyze. I mean, you could if you want. If you have some dynamic that you want to mention, great. This is your data to interpret now. Okay. All right. it's weighted heavily in the younger ages because of the networking as it was in the time wise. Most of the respondents were peer in the researchers peer group. Okay, in terms of whatever else you have, if you have look at your data on that chart for that question. Tell me a little bit what happened there. What's going on? What do you think about all that? What do you think about the people that said that they would never own a gun, or they think Black Lives Matter is a valid movement, overwhelmingly or not overwhelmingly, whatever. Think of that in each question. Give me something. Go through your questions. You can put a chart graph for every one if it's appropriate. I'm sure it is. I think that's awesome. We get to see your data and read about it. Okay, I think that's an awesome way to present your findings, right? So now you're going to do that, and then you're going to get to the summary results. And as you can see here, she mentions her disciplines. She goes through the results, generally speaking, what they showed generally based on the disciplines and things as an overall look, a summary, if you will. But then what I like about her is this integrative understanding. I like that. Okay. Um, because it challenges us to think in terms of what we're here for, right? And what does it mean? I mean, at the very least, it means that you're looking at an issue, problem or issue from multiple disciplines. And so you can't ignore any of those. You got to kind of put it together. But does the analysis through one discipline affect another? And that's your integrative aspect. What does that say about it? Okay. Sure, sustainability is wonderful and great, and habits at home and great, but what is business? You know, what about business? How are they involved? Are they going to have to present products and brands that are sustainable that people are going to want and advertise as such and drive the culture with the business too and with the social aspect? These are questions and answers and issues and ideas and observations and everything that you want to put in there. So you should feel good that you're on the inside now. You're on the inside. You know, We're asking you, Al McGuire, what do you think? There's no Al McGuire in my class. He's the coach of the Marquette Warriors in the 70s. Okay, so we're asking you what you think, though. You're inside now. You get a say, all right? And you earned it because you did all the back work in a structured process, and you have um, the duty, the responsibility, and the privilege as an academic to give us your 2 cents worth, give us your 6 cents worth, your 25 cents worth. Okay. Oh, interpret it, work on that. Remember? So I think that's all, I got to have to say about it. Again, I want you to be proud of this accomplishment that you're finishing it, you're coming to the finish line on. I think it's an outstanding accomplishment. I think you know, like my son was just telling me yesterday, he went to the diversity grad school fair or something like that, ASU online. And, he said, well, it's cool, Dad, because, he's at the honors college. So he's doing his honors thesis through the fall and defending it in December. And he said, I can just use that as my writing sample for grad school. That's what they said. And I said, that's cool. That's a good one to use. It's about a year and a half long project about something he's passionate about, soccer. But it's a lot more than that. It's a historical aspect. And to be proud of having this paper as something you can present as needed. Okay. And you do well in this, you also have somebody who would be happy and thrilled and excited to be able to provide you a letter of recommendation, whether it's for a job position or grad school. I'm happy to say I do what I consider a lot of them in context to what I ever thought in my life that I would be, but students have really entrusted me with that, and they've done so well in this project. That's what I show. That's what I can show this. This is academic rigor. This is success. This is determination over a long period, long project. It's project management, and you did it. Okay. So Yes, definitely ask me questions as you get through. I'm not going to review people's papers beforehand. Whenever you start turning them in, I'll probably taking a look at them. Um, I'll try to leave you, some good feedback. I hope overall. But you know how I felt through the course and through these videos is that if you're doing well and scoring high, I'm not giving it away. You know that. I'm be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. I admire you. You're doing it. I got a whole new batch of recruits coming in for boot camp next week. 25 of my 301s are coming in here. There's only 22 in this class, but 25 of them out of the 60 are coming in here, and I'm going to have hopefully have 70 students to deal with. But I only have a 302, which kind of is cool. I like doing that. I can focus on one thing. So that's it. 21 minutes we're hitting. I'm going to go to Panda Express, get my kids some dinner, and I'll have some too. So I'm feeling good. Test is over. Tests are over. You guys are awesome. I wish there was a convocation and commencement in May. I'm assuming there's not going to be because I like to meet you. I like to first convince you to get here for the ceremony. But that is beard hair, isn't it? I was trimming because it's so fun. But participate, be proud. You're a Sun Devil, okay? And if you didn't not graduating this spring, graduate in fall or beyond that, I will be there. Okay, I'm hitting the road again in May. Digital nomad life for the summer, probably till November. I don't know, but I will be at that convocation. Convocation, remember that. Commencement is when everybody goes to the Sun Devil Stadium. It's the whole ASU the university, thousands of people, thousands of students, and thousands more thousands in fans. And then you got the big stage. You got dignitaries. We've had some famous people speak, of course, and then you've got the college graduates of the year, which I was one. I had to say that in the front row, and that's cool. But then you got the commencements. I'm sorry, that's a commencement. Then you got convocation. And whatever school you're in CISA, College of Integrated Sciences and Arts. CISA has their convocation at the Wells Fargo Arena. I don't know if it's called that anymore, but it's awesome. It's inside. We always get the bagpipers leading us in as faculty. We get to march up the middle. Students are sitting on the floor, family and friends around the stands. So exciting. Big screen up top. Your family around the country can watch it online, live streaming. We get to march up to the dais, or whatever they call it, the dais, and our dean or somebody's going to master ceremonies, do all the talking. We'll have some special things going on. And then that's where you get to walk up. You get to walk up and get your picture taken with your diploma cover there. I've got 3 of them over there. And come up on stage, announce your name, walk across. We're hollering for you. So is everybody. I like sitting on the end by the railing so I can see people as they come up. Then afterwards, balloons will probably come down. You'll march out. We'll have the bagpipes going again, march on out. Then you'll follow out. We'll go up through the tunnel outside to the beautiful Arizona evening. And you get to meet us. Well, we'll be in the tunnel, a lot of us. And every year I'm like, oh, nobody's going to stop and talk to me. I know it. And then I'm seeing all these other, my colleagues, or everybody's like, oh, I'm just so grateful. And I'm like, la da 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 da, twiddling my thumbs. All of a sudden, yay, I get people. They say, Professor Fair, I haven't seen you. It's so exciting. In fact, one of my students in this course was the graduate of the year a couple of years ago. I was so happy for him. He worked his butt off. So think about that, right? Convocation. Need anything, give me a holler, okay? So that's it. I will say Easter egg number 3. You need to write these 3 words. I did it. Forks up.